What's up? My name is Devin. I also go by Infinite or Prod by Infinite. And today we're going to be doing Spanish West Coast guitar beats for OhGeesy. Ooh, and real quick, if you do like this loop, it is going to be available on my Patreon. It is a part of my weekly loops. And if you don't know what my weekly loops are, it's basically where every single week I send out 7 loops with the stems, with the key, BPM, and the Midi, and the Midi too. Okay. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, first link in the bio. All right, so let's go over the guitar first. It is in contact. It is the Ilia nylon guitar. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which you absolutely should, you should know that this is all I've been using for like the past 5 days. Every single loop, let's say, I'm gonna say 90% of the loops I've been making has had this guitar in it. And it's getting to the point where I'd be making loops, but then I'd be like, all right, let me not use the guitar this time. You feel? So for the effects on this guitar, all I did was just add some Valhalla vintage verb. You can use Fruity Reverb, it'll work just as fine. Valhalla Supermassive, you can use Fruity Delay, it'll work completely fine. These are just the ones that I like to go to. And then an EQ, cutting out a lot of the low end and boosting a little bit of the mids and a good amount of the highs. When it comes to guitars, I like boosting the highs just because I think it makes it sound a little bit more realistic, because when you start boosting the highs, Jesus Christ. I like boosting the highs a little bit just because when you boost the highs, I feel like you get more of that plucking sound. And when you get that plucking sound, you really get a realistic sounding guitar. So here we go with the guitar. We're going to play it by itself real quick. All right, cool. So let's break down how I made this guitar. All right, so let's break down how I made this guitar real quick. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is lay down a triad. What is a triad? A triad is basically a chord consisting of 3 different notes. You know what I mean? And the notes, all you gotta do is just put one down, skip the next one that's in the scale, put another one down, skip the next note that's in the scale, and then put another one down. Now, what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna take that root note and we're gonna copy it down an octave. What that does is just makes everything a little bit more thick. You feel me? I don't like how I said that. It just makes everything a little bit more full because it adds more depth to the chord. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to extend these out. And then we're gonna open up the cut tool. So I'm just gonna hit C and we're gonna just kind of strum them out basically. So the next one is going to be right here, this one right here. And now you kind of get like a plucked guitar kind of feel when you're making the melody. So instead of having all of the notes hit at one time, you can kind of strum them out and it gives a more realistic feel to the actual melody. Then I'm gonna take these notes right here. I'm just gonna play with the velocity a little bit just so they're all a little bit different. I'm sure we've all seen this trick before. It just makes everything sound a little bit more realistic because when you're playing notes and everything like that, you're not playing them exactly at the same velocity every single time. And then that's how you get that little bass melody. So what I did next after that was I just took the second note and I just put it up here, so it kind of gives like a higher tone to the guitar. It makes it just a little bit more, just makes it have a little bit more depth too. And then I made a little top melody right here. An easy way to make these top melodies is just to go to the little magnet tool right here and go to the 1/3. And the easiest way to make these top melodies is just to go to the magnet tool right here, go to the 1/6 beat, and then just start clicking and stuff and experiment with it. So I did this little wiggle thing right here where you go 1, you go up 1, and then you go back down to that original note that we had there, and that created that little that, you know what I mean? And when you hear people be playing stuff, you hear that little type thing, you feel me? And when it came to the actual top melody and everything like that, I liked using a lot of half steps. If you've watched a lot of my tutorials before, you know that half steps is my thing, bro. So that's why I did this right here. So I just kind of did this, boom, go up, do the little wiggle thing, you feel me? And then kind of did this little falling thing right here, you know what I mean? There wasn't really any type of method to this. It was really just go on the 1/6. It was really just go on the 1/6. Oh my God. It was really just go on the 1/6 beat setting right here on the magnet and then literally just click things in until they sound good. You might not get it perfectly at first, but You feel me? Everything takes a little bit of practice. I was literally just clicking random stuff here. Then after that, just to make everything easy on myself, I just took that chord, copied it over, and then pitched it down by 500 cents. Now you can do this with almost any chord and it will always work. So you just copy it over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then boom, you have another chord that will work within the progression. And then after that, I was like, what does this beat need next? A flute, because guitars and flutes be going together. You feel me? So I pulled up this Jubal flute right here by Embertone in Contact. I believe this is like $15, I want to say. I kind of forgot low key. So I ended up just going to the piano roll and just kind of did that little 1/6, 1/3 kind of thing. So when you're making melodies for flutes and guitars and you're doing this kind of like Spanish stuff, just go to the 1/3 beat right here or the 1/6 beat right here and literally just start clicking and stuff. I promise you it will almost always sound good. So here's the flute melody by itself. So what I did was I just started at the root note with one note just to establish the melody. And then once again, just go to that little 1/3 or 1/6 and then just go to that little 1/3 or 1/6. Why can't I say sixth? Go. Everything's a 1/3 now. 1/2 of 1/3. So it's the 1/6 timing and like literally start clicking stuff in. And when you're making flute melodies, it's really crucial to mess with the spacing of the actual notes and like how long they are. So this right here is going to sound better than if I did it like this. See, now when I go back like this, everything is going to sound more bouncy because we have those like little spaces in between. It kind of mimics a real flute. You feel me? Where like if you're doing that flute melody, you would have to take breaths and pauses and switch fingers and everything like that. So like having spaces in between makes it sound more realistic and more bouncy. You know what I mean? And overall, it just sounds better. You know what I mean? And then this one is basically the same thing as the one before. I just kind of like made everything a little bit closer just to give it like a little bit of contrast, so it's not like repeating the same thing every single time. And then the effects for this one, it's going to be RC20, that Vinyl 3 preset. I believe I did not touch anything. This is just how it comes. Got the Valhalla vintage verb. We have quite a lot of reverb on this. Usually you don't want to use too much reverb on your sounds, but I don't know, for flutes I feel like you get like a little pass. You feel me? Then Valhalla Supermassive, just a delay right here, nothing crazy. And then I don't know why this failed to load, but basically Fresh Air, all it does is just boost the high end. It makes everything sound more crispy. And then an EQ, this is just to get rid of frequencies that I didn't need. You know what I mean? Next is SRX Orchestra. I just got some strings right here. The 11 preset right here. And here's what it sounds like by itself. And then I didn't even put any effects on it. That's just how it sounds. Sometimes you don't have to put effects on things because usually VSTs already have effects on them. So if it sounds good, sometimes it just sounds good and you can just leave it alone. Then I added some vocals from Arcade. Please don't crash, please. Okay, there we go. From the Mirrors preset right here. And then these are what those vocals sound like. A lot of reverb, a lot of delay, a lot of EQ, cutting things out. That's what's going on here. So Fruity Love filter, reverb, chorus, EQ. But look at the EQ. I'm basically cutting out everything. And then delay right here as well. And then mess with the mixer knob so everything sounds good to you. Now we're going to go on to the drums. I kept the drums really simple just because I feel like artists nowadays just really want stuff that's simple to them. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it a little bit more simple and just see how that works out. And then a lot of people like this beat and a lot of people asked me to do a tutorial on this. And low key is going up on TikTok too. If y'all don't follow me on TikTok, get on, follow your boy on TikTok. You feel me? But here's the snap. It's just a regular snap. Nothing crazy. I didn't do anything to it. just Spanish West Coast. I feel like a snap just really fits the vibe of what we're going to. Then got a hi-hat right here, which is messing with the velocities. Just a regular old two-step, nothing crazy. And then I have a rat kick right here. Nothing crazy. I didn't do anything to it. Sometimes when the drums are slapping, you ain't gotta do nothing else to them. And then we gotta give a shout out to Tri-Freeze. He has a free drum kit that is super fire. I've been using it a lot ever since I downloaded it. And this is the best Zay 808 that's in there. And this is the melody that I brought in with it. So as you can see, super bouncy, a lot of notes, but at the same time, you're kind of like keeping everything spaced out as well. So like, yeah, obviously I could do like something like this, where it's like boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But it just sounds way better when you kind of space everything out. I've spoke about this a lot on my channel, but using techniques like call and response is super, super crucial to making beats. Just because it leaves so much room for the artist, but it doesn't make your beat simple enough to the point where it's like, oh, my little sister could have done that. You feel me? And then for the 808, I just got, where is it? I just have a fruity soft clipper on it. I didn't do anything to it. If anything, I just turned it down a little bit because I felt like it was just hitting a little bit too hard. And I was like, yo, I don't need to be doing all that. You feel me? Then got a stomp right here. You know what I mean? Classic West Coast stuff. Got a little riser, and this is just to really make the transitions seem bigger and make the drops a little bit harder and everything like that. I love using risers and everything like that. So if you got some, for sure, start using them because it can definitely enhance your beats. And that is just reverb, delay, that's it. And then that really concludes the beat. After that, I just kind of like put ozone on it. Actually, I did not put ozone on it, which is kind of surprising because I usually put ozone on all my masters. It probably just didn't sound good when I did like the ozone mastering thing, so I probably just left it alone. You know what I mean? Sometimes when things sound good, they sound good and you leave it alone. So with that being said, that concludes another video. My name is Devin. I also go by Infinite or Prod by Infinite, and peace out.